This time you get to observe seemingly ordinary life in the village. But the peace of the secret place has been disturbed by demons that have attacked the blacksmith's village. Can Tanjiro and his new acquaintances save the blacksmith's secret hideout and get out of there alive? Or will they be defeated? This time the enemy is much stronger than in the past. Now they are faced with something unknown and very dangerous. Will they be able to overcome their terror and confront the terrifying monster? Tanjiro managed to defeat the mechanical doll by cutting off its head. The boys were shocked when they saw that it was not hollow inside, and in it lies an ancient sword from a time when this swordsman still existed for real. What to do with this find? The boy decided that since Tanjiro had defeated the doll, and no new blade had ever been forged for him, he should take this one. To take it is a bit of an overstatement, but he must take a look at it. So, the moment of truth, he's rusted. It was to be expected, no one had cared for it in about 300 years. Just then, hearing the guys screaming from the woods, the blacksmith who helps Tanjiro with his blades, Haganazuka, came out. He grabbed the sword and decided to repair it. But Tanjiro did not want to give him his find. Using his strength, Haganazuka wrested the sword from the guy. Then another blacksmith appeared and exposed his partner's weaknesses. This big guy, it turns out, can be broken with a tickle. What will you choose? Ignore, go to school or work. Liking and subscribing to watch anime all day. But where had Haganazuka been hiding all this time? And he was in the mountains, training hard so that later he could forge the strongest sword that would protect Tanjiro from perdition. After a while, the blacksmith woke up and promised to restore the ancient blade the boys had found. He would take it with him for now, and gave Tanjiro another sword for the time being. The lad went to his buddy Jenny, he told him his adventures, but he was clearly not happy about it. He didn't want to make friends and just yelled at the hunter. Geiji's tooth had fallen out at the springs, but now it was as if it had returned to its place. The guy brought his buddy his tooth. It looked creepy, why did he pick it up? When asked about the tooth, the guy responded with nothing but aggression and kicked Tanjiro out. While braiding his sister's braids, the boy kept wondering why his accomplice was so angry. He spoke his thoughts out loud to find some kind of support from Nizuki. But he could never find an answer to that question. That night one of the blacksmiths went to the springs and on his way home he saw a beautiful pot on the road. He decided to approach it, very wrongly. Because the pot turned out to be a demon. It jumped out and ate the man. The demon turned out to be Gyako. Apparently his secret information was about this village. He intends to destroy it. And he's not the only one. Could it be that demons have sneaked into this sacred place? Genya returned to the workshop, but there was no one there. He took his sword in his hand and promised his brother to fulfill his request. In the morning Tanjiro was awakened by Michiro, the same Hashiro who had taken the key from the boy. He asked about Kanamori the blacksmith. It turned out he was his new blacksmith. Tanjiro decided to help Hashiro find the blacksmith. When asked why he helps everyone around him and cares so little for himself, the guy only replied that he believes that if you do something good, then good will definitely come back. Michiro had the feeling that he had seen Nezuko somewhere before, but where exactly he did not remember. Had she always been like this? This girl is a very strange creature. Hashiro pondered. His train of thought stopped Tanjiro. It seemed to him that there was someone in the room besides the three of them. Michiro confirmed his suspicions. Suddenly the door opened and the demon Hantengu walked in. Tanjiro could smell it, and knew at once who it was and what its intentions were. But what would a demon be doing in a place like this? How he could have got in here is impossible. The village is closely guarded, so much so that not every hunter knows about it, let alone a demon. It's a tragedy. But that's alright, why didn't the hunters notice it until they saw it? How is that possible? What kind of disguise is that? Then it finally dawned on Tanjiro that this isn't just any demon, it's the High Moon. Michiro did not wait long and immediately drew his sword from its sheath. A gray mist rained around him. He used the mist's breath, leapt from his seat, and lunged at his enemy. When he reached him, he swung his sword, but only shattered the air. The demon dodged and clung to the ceiling. He realized then that he was no match for the demon. Surprisingly, the demon wailed and begged for mercy. Tanjiro owed it to his ally to help him. This demon, in spite of its words and induced pity, is a terrible creature that has killed many people and, if it is not stopped, will kill more. The hunter's task is to fight these killers by overcoming their fear, pity, horror, hatred, and all feelings in general. He decided to use the style of the sunflower spear. Fire appeared around him, and he jumped to the ceiling. It hit him, and the demon fell to the floor. But why wasn't he fighting? Nezuko rushed to the boy's aid. She kicked the demon, and it flew away but didn't fight. Michiro immediately ran up and ripped the monster's head off its shoulders, ending their duel. Remembering the fight with the high moon last night, Tanjiro hadn't forgotten that these demons don't die so easily, and can function even without a head. So he shouted to his partner not to relax prematurely. It was the right thing to do, because a part of the demon's body was transformed into a full-fledged new creature in an instant. And it already looked more dangerous than its previous form. Not only that, it split in two. Thankfully there were two hunters, too, and they could separate the opponents. Tanjiro lunged at one of them. Except that in one fell swoop, the demon sent Michiro into space. Tanjiro would have gone with him, but Nezuko helped him stay inside. The demons loved the spectacle. One enjoyed it all, while the other was furious with what was happening. Suddenly the one who was furious hit the floor with his staff, and electric lightning flashed everywhere, striking the hunters as well. They almost passed out because of this, but they were saved by Genya when he shot one of the demons. Turns out that the demon's power is that when you cut off their head, they split up again and become stronger. They also all have different abilities. One attacked Ginyu, the other dragged Tanjiro away. Each of the demons represented an emotion. Tanjiro fell from a great height and couldn't get up because of it. As Michiro ran back down, he saw a child fighting a less dangerous demon. His mind told him to return to the village quickly and save the headman. He is more important than some inexperienced blacksmith. The important lives of the proficients were the priority. You can't stop halfway and lose speed. But suddenly his heart remembered Tanjiro's kind words about helping those around him. No, you can't leave a child in trouble. Hashiro protected him and killed the demon. To think that if it weren't for Tanjiro's words, Hashiro would have just left the child in the lurch. It seems that behind the prism of the importance of their position and the display of authority, Michiro has completely forgotten about simple humanity. And yet it is the most important trait that sets them apart from those they fight. It is their humanity that makes the hunters not simple killing machines, but true heroes.